Welcome to DStv Roundtable with me, Donovan Goliath. We made it. We made it. It is 2021. We have got tinsel all around us. Good to see you all. Good to see you all. We survived. We are here.
We are here.
Very nice. We're still here. Everybody is looking fantastic. Can you believe it?
Looking marvelous. For me, look at us.
I'm sitting here with some of the most loved actors in TV and film on the local screen right now, and I wanna prod a little bit. I wanna chat to you guys about what 2020 was like for each of you, and then we'll speak about the future just a little bit. You ready for this? This is a two-part question. What would you tell somebody 50 years from now about 2020? And at the same time, what do you think that we've learned this year about things that should change and things that should stay the same? Kate, I'll chat to you. Boom.
Materialism is out, and it must stay out. You know, this buying things to make us feel better. You need this, you need that to feel whole. It's suddenly not fashionable anymore, and I love that.
Yes. People,
connections, this, friendship, family, dinner around a table, cooking in the kitchen. Those things must stay. That I love. The metamorphosis.
Yes.
That I think, especially as artists, when you have to take away the label of I'm an actor, what are you doing? I'm in this, I'm in that, I'm hustling, la la la. When all of that's taken away, and what you're left with, yourself and having to face yourself. Every person I've spoken to has grown in some way. So as much as it's been really hard, there's been a lot of positives.
Nice. Very well said. Didi, how about you, ma'am?
I would agree that it was a year of transformation where people just literally had to spiritually evolve and step into different stations. Because we've been living a life that is predominantly focused on what we can possess and what we can attain, and measuring our value to our possessions and our social status. And now we're just at a point where we've been reminded of our humanity. So I would definitely say that it was a year of spiritual transformation universally all around.
Fantastic. How about you, Yanina?
I quite like a Zoom meeting.
You do? That is the first time I have heard anybody say that.
I kind of like a Zoom meeting because I travel between Joburg and Pretoria.
Yes.
And what I've realized during this lockdown is the amount of time that I waste daily getting ready in my car, sitting in traffic. I hate traffic so much. Sitting in traffic, and how I now use those hours to be more productive. And I think the fact that people have more time to themselves, to take care of themselves more, I think was definitely needed during lockdown. Whether it's going and hitting a couple of golf balls or meeting a friend for a coffee, either way it's your time because now you have a little bit more of it.
Leanne. Let me not shorten your name here for no reason.
No, you can. It's fine. You may, 2020 hasn't been bad for me. I think it's one of my greatest years, actually, for me, personally,
Yes.
I don't have a lot of friends. I have associates, people, That's just how I am.
Yeah.
Unless if I spend time with you, if I wake up and I feel the need to check up if you're okay, then by all means, you're my friend. So, a lot of people don't understand my character. I'm lively, I like to talk, but I'm not out there. I keep to myself, I'm in my own space, For me, I kept on working. I grew a lot, you know, in terms of spirituality, motherhood, or how I carry myself as a person. And I can't be one of those that wouldn't want to go back to 2020, no.
Khosi?
I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that everything in my side happened during the lockdown. It happened the way it happened.
Yeah.
You know, I'm one of those people who can resonate with other people and be like, oh yeah, I was going through the same thing. This is the only year where I got recognized. This is the only year where I worked my ass off. This is the only year where I actually got an opportunity to like showcase my craft. This is a year where I was lucky that I was part in the family to help in buying groceries, you know. I'm happy that I came close to my sisters. I'm just grateful.
What do you think, though, that we've learned, you know, about 2020? What should stay the same and what should change going forward?
So I think what should change is we need to have human touch again.
Yes.
What should stay the same is the level of fire that people have had this year to survive. So that kind of impetus to keep moving forward and not get stuck and not go backwards or stagnate. I think we can't lose that. I know at the moment for a lot of people it's about survival, but to take that survival kind of instinct and use it to fuel you to thrive. So now to still be on the same kind of trajectory, exactly. Keep the energy. Hashtag keep the energy. That's all I want to say.
Keep the energy. Love that.
What I would love to keep is that empathy, because we're in a time now where your empathy is tested. Because I could have little, but you could have nothing. Now my little might seem too little for me until I look at your life and I'm like, yo, maybe my life is not that bad. The globe itself can function when countries help each other, when other races help each other. It stops all of this, every man for himself. And 50 years from now, I would like to let anyone know that the most valuable thing you have in your life is time.
Yes.
We have seen that everything can disappear in front of your eyes, but your time is the most valuable thing. And the most incredible saying that I've ever heard in my life came from Avengers Endgame, when Tony comes back to speak to his father, and his father tells him one thing, that no amount of money has ever bought a second of time. That hit me so hard that I started realizing that I could lose everything, but my time is the most valuable thing to me.
Amazing.
Yes, Papa.
Power, brother.
Yes, Papa.
So true. I heard someone actually say that the other day. When we are born, we begin to die.
That is the
I was like,
clock literally starts ticking
now,
when you're
I'm not there.
The clock
You
starts
threw us
ticking
into
when
the
you're
Bermuda Triangle there. We all
It's true, yeah.
Very true.
You have to stop and start.
Now,
Starting, right? The race has begun.
what are you hoping the year 2021 holds for you on a personal level? Not just for you, our country, communities. Khosi?
With this pandemic, we saw that we are all, you know, we are all like, there's no, you know, we are all humans, and all I'll tell them is that to cherish touching people. Like,
That's such a simple, powerful thing that you just said now.
Because now I'm a person with, you know, hugs and stuff.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? I transcend my energy through that.
Yeah.
So no, hey, you need to cherish that. We need that back, man.
We do.
We need that.
A friend of ours, de Klerk, his father had coined this nice term, velhonger, which is like skin hungry, which is what we're all suffering from. We're hungry for that touch. And I definitely realized that. So my parents and my one brother lives in Botswana, and we haven't been able to see each other. So and we don't know if we're going to see them until when. And so stuff like that really, it's things I knew, but now I'm feeling it.
So what do you think should change?
Well, what I was always a bit silently judgy about if I saw someone from Japan or China walking around with masks.
Yeah.
And now I finally learned they're doing that when they are sick to protect the people around them. I was like, how have we not learned that? Now, hopefully now, because still you get people, why should I wear a mask? I'm like, it's not for you. It's like for the people around you. I love that aspect of it. So I hope we can make that little mind change. And then just the general, I think all of you touched on it, but the fact that we were forced to trim the fat of our lives, like the things that are unnecessary, and focus on the people who are really in this with you. I like that. I like the lean approach for the next 100 years where we can kind of know what is important and prioritize accordingly.
What I like was the fact that we focused on science and facts and biology, and there was a sort of a reminder of natural sciences and the world out there. And in a time that we had so many polarizing sides in politics and fake news and nonsense on social media, it was such a good sort of, what do you call it, opposite pole.
Yes.
And I hope we remember that we have to go and look for facts, and science needs to weigh more.
Yeah. Usually when things like this happen, we kind of look to the other countries, but this time around all the countries were messed up and really going down the chute. So it was like, oh, we're kind of on our own on this one. The South African identity or the culture that we've kind of boiled together, and we're going to have to get through it with that.
I'm loving the fact that people are now focused on their health again, and washing hands and sanitizing and keeping your distance in a supermarket. That I love, and the fact that they drench my trolley in sanitizer, I love it. So that can stay, please. But I wish that families didn't have to lose everything during this virus that we know very little about. And where I have friends that have lost everything. And I have friends that the career that they have worked for themselves for the past 30 years in 21 days meant nothing. And that breaks my heart for the families that struggled and still struggle tremendously to get through this and to recover from it if they can.
You got that? There's something loaded here, I can tell. She took a deep breath.
A deep one.
So when we first got hit with the news, I was on a set at the time, and even though people were trying and producers were trying to be really responsible about it, it wasn't also within their means. So crews still had to travel to work in taxis. And it's like, guys, don't travel in taxis. And I'm like, but they're trying to feed their kids. Like, it's like, how are you faced with dying of a disease or dying of hunger? That for me was the most tragic about this time. It also made me realize that as South Africans, we use a lot of our time in escapism. So we try and escape all the time. It gave people a chance to really sit still with themselves, with their thoughts. And that's why so much came out on social media, because that silence becomes so loud that your deepest thoughts that you've been burying for so long surfaces. Made me realize that so many of us haven't healed. We cannot transform and we cannot progress as a nation unless we've transformed individually, unless we take accountability for our own individual transformation first. Then we will begin to transform as a community, and then we will begin to transform as a nation. But it needs to start with me. Everybody needs to take accountability for themselves. It starts with me.
What I would tell someone 50 years from now is that what we thought was dividing us was actually what was uniting us. Because this was not just something that was owned to us in South Africa, it was global. So the fact that it happened was not all a bad thing. It's sad that we lost loved ones. I mean, I also lost loved ones. We all lost someone that we know. But it was really something that made us all just see that there's actually nothing so big different between us. We're all very much the same. And what I think we must keep is stop trying to please people. Just be you. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't even matter when you're in lockdown. It doesn't matter, no one cares. And
it was such a leveler. Right? It was such a leveler.
Yeah, we're all the same. So that thing that you said yes to all the time doesn't now matter anymore, because now you can actually, you've always had the choice, but you didn't know you've had until you were forced into this box, and now you're actually like, you know what, I don't want to go.
Thank you.
I actually am protecting myself right now, and only now with coronavirus did we have the voice to say, I'm not gonna come, I'm not gonna do that. And we could have always done that, and I wish we could keep that. Be honest with who you are and what you want and what you don't want.
Love that. Stephanie. Hitting us with the word.
I would say
Love it.
also that to the people in whenever it is, that this year was with the tragedy of this pandemic and everything else and the weirdness of the year and all this. It was the year that changed the 21st century. Yeah. It was the year that changed everything that we've grown up with. It was the year that has changed everything that we understand, really, or we understood in a way. We've got to understand everything in another way.
What I'm really hoping for going forward, and I hope it mirrors like we've been mirroring 100 years ago, that outbreak, is that after the downturn and the pandemic and the economic downturn, suddenly jazz music started flourishing and cabaret and movies started booming, and it became this massive cultural creative explosion. So I hope, and it feels like we might be bottlenecking towards something that's going to champagne bottle us into the next 100 years.
It'll be amazing. So in the next 50 years, there might be somebody saying that exact same thing that you're saying now. Man, after that thing happened, all of these things flourished.
You know what the other thing is? It's definitely 50 years from now, we'll look back and I'll remember that it was a reminder that we can adapt to anything.
Yeah, absolutely. One of my, I guess it's one of my favorite quotes that came out of 2020 is when somebody said, be very careful with how you use the phrase that we're all in the same boat. Because remember, boats aren't all the same size. And that one hit me right here, because you can become very complacent and think, we're all going through this. There's somebody that is going through this much worse than you.
That's so true.
That's the person that you got to look after. Try and get them on your boat if need be, or if you've got a little life raft, throw it at them. Loved that.
I was just thinking kindness. Just having empathy for each other. I mean, you may not like someone or you may disagree with someone, but let's be civil and let's be kind and let's treat each other with respect, because as you said, you just never know what people are going through. So practicing kindness and compassion is just also something I've learned personally to just continue with.
Speaking about futures and going into them, on a personal level, what would you hope 2021 holds for you, for the country and for communities on a larger scale?
I think going forward, being able to tell the stories of smaller communities, people who feel marginalized, people who feel like their voices are not heard, I think that should be the focus for this year, at least for me. I want to be able to give people a voice.
I like that. You know what that does? You've answered all three parts of that question, which is amazing, because I mean that's a personal goal for you, but that goal actually is there to serve the communities. How about you, Kabos?
Well, I'll start with us, small community. I hope that we can do bigger work, slower, with more concentration and more care. I hope that we can afford to do that. I think we owe it to the country in many sectors, but especially in ours, and I think we owe it to ourselves, culturally.
Fantastic, lovely answer. Robert, what are you hoping the year 2021 holds for you?
Life. Life would be good.
Nothing wrong, that's a big answer.
We can't do anything without a life.
Yes. Amen. Amen. Absolutely.
Yes.
Man, awesome stuff. It's really been great hanging out with you guys. Really, really, really. And I wish you all the best for the rest of the year. And I mean, not just you, I wish everybody watching this all the best for 2021. Let's really hope that you really go out there and achieve every single thing that you dreamed for, everything you spoke about.
What do you want to achieve?
What do I want to achieve?
Yeah.
I think that just putting all of myself out there. You know, I'm a multidisciplinary creative. I do many things. So there are a lot of things that I really do want to tick off, you know, off my list that I've been keeping and putting in my mental drawer for the last 10 years.
Wow.
And I want to start going through that list and making stuff. And they range, you know, from making a table, you know, to making a song. You know, all of these things that I would just love to try. Bless his soul, Kanye West, has a really great tweet, which I think needs to be on a t-shirt or a card, and it says, do everything you possibly can in one lifetime. I love that so much because I really do think we suppress ourselves because we're so afraid of what people are going to say, you know, or what people have said.
Yes.
So that's me. I really just want to try things and just, my curiosity is so strong at the moment, you know, that I really just want to get it out and test myself. That's it.
Amazing.
Awesome, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you once again to you guys. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell us who you want to see on the next episode of DStv Roundtable. We really will try our best to make it happen. Please also go and check out these fantastic people in the shows that they're in. Janina is already talking about season 20 of her show.
And catch me on her show.
Catch Leanne's show. Catch Leanne on Rosa's show. This is a mess. This is going to be
crossovers.
It's fun times.
Yes, make sure you have enough data on that DStv app that you can download. Hit the link in the description below and please do check it out. Good luck for 2021. Thank you so much for tuning in. Boom, let's go.